During 1980s, when we could have M2 bread, my paternal grandparents had just M1 bread, as you have heard the definitions about M1 and M2 from the last video. For Anne's family, they had also just gotten M1. In summers, we had a lot to do. There was a small and clear stream flowing in front of our houses. Back then, the environment was way better in China, so there were small fishes and shrimps in it. We were allowed to play in the stream. For most of the time, we tried to catch some fishes and shrimps, and then asked Grandma and Mom to fry them as snacks. The old kitchen was full of laughter and the great smile. We looked at what Grandma and Mom doing. It was so exciting. Grandma loved eating fishes, so when there was not a lot to do in the farm field, Grandpa carried a big fishing net to go out of the village to catch fish. It was the best times when we could go with him fishing. There were a lot of different fish around the village, so we always got fish and fishy soups with M2 bread or W bread, as you can see in the last video and this video. The definition of W bread was steamed bread made by wheat flour. We were lucky since my dad worked in a company and he had a stable income. At the same time, we could get peanuts and walnuts, since the company he worked for was located close to the mountains, and there were a bunch of trees that they could pick fruits and nuts from, or just shopped from the farmers nearby with very good prices. W bread dipping into fish soup was so great. Anne and I thought we were in heaven every time when eating like that. Grandma and Mom loved this too, but they could not eat so much due to their health issues. One summer, Grandpa began with his big project to dig and build a small pond in the small stream to plant lotus, so that we could have lotus roots. I will tell this story after next video. Please subscribe to my channel to get it then. Kids from almost the whole village came to inspect it or help him out with something. Loud noises continued all day long. We all were very happy and excited about his project. Grandma sat under a big jujube tree beside the stream, swinging a fan in her hand and looked at us smiling. Mom was busy watering the curtain plants nearby the stream. The sky was high. There was nearly no any wind blowing. Colorful butterflies were flying around. Our dog was running around to try to catch butterflies. During the night in summer, we could see a lot of fireflies around the curtain field nearby our houses. The small flowing golden light spots were so illusory, like we lived in a fairy tale. But the crickets tweeted in the yellow mud wall. It was disappointing since their sounds was so annoying. But such a situation could be turned around, as we could catch them and eat them. From time to time, we went to the wall to find them, and Mom helped Grandma to fry them for us. Anne and I thought that fried crickets tasted better than grasshoppers, or even better than W bread actually. Have you tried to taste the crickets or grasshoppers? Comment below and let me know what you think. We enjoyed the fried crickets. As a return, we had to go to the field to pick up some dandelion flowers for Grandma and Mom so that they could dry them under the sunlight to make a special kind of tea. There were a lot of dandelion flowers in the field. It wasn't difficult to find them, but it was hard to pick enough for making tea. One of my grandma's dreams was to make them as a kind of biscuit with a lot of flowers on it, but she couldn't figure out how to make it. And now it's time for me to make such one for her. So I will make a cake with dandelion flowers in my next video. Interesting? Please subscribe to my channel to not miss out it. When it's time for me to decide what kind of food we should have in the family, W bread is still something I prefer to have. But I'm also looking for something healthier, like these different steamed breads with more diverse ingredients. When steaming different breads, I would always like to mix two kinds of flours, aiming for them to be healthier. At the same time, it makes me thinking back to the time spent with both of my grandparents. The happiness and the hardness had mixed in my head. At that time, when my paternal grandma was getting seriously sick, she told my uncles and aunt to try to eat healthier if it's possible. She may know that what they had was not good enough. Therefore, she got stomach cancer. I think that reflection is really a great thing. When thinking back to what my grandparents had, we could see that they had actually a healthy habit in some ways. They tried to cook with different wild vegetables, more vegetables and less stable food. Anne and I had discussed such a habit as it was the same in her family. Her mom had used to cook as many as they could have, not more than that. Anne and I have same habit too. We are used to cook more than we could have for our family. It was because we had the experiences from hunger, so we would like to have what we are able to put on the table for our family. On the other hand, we don't throw the leftovers away. We kept them for the next meal. It may not be a good habit seen from the point of view of nutrition. Anyway, it's hard for us to change it. From time to time, we would like to cook with different ingredients, like what we had tried back then, and tell us kids what we had experienced, so that they have not only our food, but also to learn the stories and the rationales behind it. In my family, my mom always makes food with more vegetables and various ingredients. Seen from the steamed bread, she prefers to mix corn flour with white flours together to make a healthier bread for us. My dad is very satisfied with such kinds of food. Always said that he's not eating food but chewing the old time. My sister does the same as mom does. She means that taking more coarse grain is a great idea, since it's good for one's body. At the same time, there are still many people starving. We have to do what we can do to contribute to the entire community. Yes, small things done by us as single persons can mean a lot for the whole earth. From different information sources around the world, we can see that the trend for what we eat is changing. Many people began to become vegetarian due to the attention to their own health and the environmental protection as well. In recent years in China, people have paid more attention to protect their own health by having more different kinds of wild vegetables and organic food. C bread, B bread, and M bread have become popular among people with different ages. It seems that such popularity is about to reach back to the old time. But this circle gets an extra layer by sorting some tastes away from the past. Like the steamed breads I make here, they are not hard to swallow anymore. Since the mixture gets better with time,